Why do we age? Why does our skin wrinkle? Why do our muscles weaken? Why does it take so much longer to recover from a tough workout or a minor injury than it used to? And why does the risk of major diseases, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, climb steadily higher with each passing year? For thousands of years, aging felt like an inescapable mystery, a curse or a fate woven by forces beyond our control. But today, scientists are pulling back the curtain. They're discovering that aging isn't caused by one single thing. It's the result of many, many tiny changes happening inside your trillions of cells, day after day, year after year. It's a story of damage and repair, of countdown clocks and faltering power plants. Today, we're shrinking down to go inside the human body and explore the fundamental biology of aging, cell by cell. Your body is a masterpiece of constant self-renewal. Every second, it's repairing itself. Skin cells turn over, old blood cells are replaced, muscle fibers rebuild stronger. Damage to your precious DNA is snipped out and fixed. Misfolded proteins are tagged and recycled. Old, dysfunctional cells are cleared away to make room for new ones. It's a relentless, beautiful process of maintenance. But here's the problem. The repair is never 100% perfect. Over decades of this constant activity, tiny mistakes accumulate. A bit of DNA damage is missed. A damaged protein slips through the quality control net. This decline in protein maintenance, what scientists call a loss of proteostasis, is a critical tipping point. When the system can no longer clear out damaged proteins as fast as they appear, these faulty molecules start to clog up the cellular machinery. Aging truly begins when this cellular damage starts to build up faster than the body can fully repair it. It's a slow, imperceptible shift from a state of perfect balance to a state of gradual decline. Let's zoom in deeper into the nucleus of a single cell. Inside is your DNA, the biological instruction manual for your entire body. It contains the blueprint for everything. But this manual is under constant assault. Every day, it's exposed to damaging forces from normal metabolism, from sunlight, from pollution and cigarette smoke, from internal inflammation, and even from random errors that occur when the DNA is copied. Your body has an elite squad of proteins dedicated to DNA repair, constantly patrolling your genome and fixing these scratches and typos. They are remarkably effective, but they're not infallible. Over a lifetime, some of that damage inevitably escapes repair. This accumulation of genetic scars is known as genomic instability. When DNA damage builds up, a cell's instruction manual becomes corrupted. The cell might start to function poorly, or it might stop dividing altogether. And in the most dangerous cases, the damage can hit a critical gene that controls cell growth, allowing it to become cancerous. This genomic instability is one of the primary reasons your risk of cancer rises so dramatically as you get older. Now, let's look at the very ends of your chromosomes. You'll find protective caps called telomeres. The best way to think of them is like the little plastic tips at the ends of your shoelaces. Those tips, or aglets, stop the shoelace from unraveling. Telomeres do the same thing for your DNA, protecting it from fraying every time a cell divides. But there's a catch. In many of our cells, every time the cell divides and copies its DNA, the telomeres get just a little bit shorter. It's like a cellular countdown timer. After enough divisions, the telomeres become critically short. At this point, the cell gets a powerful signal to stop dividing permanently. This is a brilliant anti-cancer mechanism. It prevents a cell with potentially damaged DNA from copying itself over and over. But this safety feature has a downside. As more and more cells in a tissue hit their limit and stop dividing, the body's ability to renew and repair that tissue begins to fail. Vital organs can't replenish themselves as effectively, contributing to the slow decline we see in aging. Next, let's journey into the power plants of the cell, the mitochondria. These tiny bean-shaped organelles are the energy factories inside nearly every one of your cells. They take the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe and convert it into a molecule called ATP, the universal energy currency that powers almost everything your body does. But as we age, our mitochondria can become less efficient. Energy production can start to decline, leaving our cells with less fuel to perform their duties. At the same time, these struggling power plants begin to produce more harmful byproducts, specifically reactive oxygen species, also known as free radicals. These are unstable molecules that can ricochet around the cell, damaging DNA, proteins, and the mitochondria themselves. This creates a vicious cycle of declining energy and rising stress. The effects are felt throughout the body, from a weakening muscle strength and slower brain function to reduced heart health and a slower recovery from exercise. So, what happens to all these damaged cells, the ones with corrupted DNA, short telomeres, and failing mitochondria? Some of them die and are cleared away, which is a healthy process, but others do not. Instead, they enter a strange, semi-retired state called cellular senescence. They stop dividing, but they refuse to die. Scientists sometimes call them zombie cells. These zombie cells hang around in our tissues, and they aren't quiet neighbors. They actively secrete a cocktail of inflammatory chemical signals. While a few senescent cells can be useful for things like wound healing, a problem arises when too many of them accumulate with age. Their constant pro-inflammatory signals create a toxic environment that can damage nearby healthy cells, disrupt tissue function, and fuel the low-grade chronic inflammation seen in aging. The science of targeting and destroying these zombie cells using drugs called senolytics is one of the most exciting frontiers in aging research. This accumulation of senescent cells is a major contributor to another hallmark of aging, a chronic, low-grade inflammation that scientists call inflammaging. This isn't the red, hot, swollen inflammation you see after an injury. It's quieter, slower, a persistent systemic smoldering that occurs throughout the body. It's driven by a combination of zombie cells, dysfunctional mitochondria, and a changing immune system. This slow burn has been linked to nearly every major disease of aging, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, frailty, and neurodegeneration like Alzheimer's. It's the background noise of aging, subtly degrading tissues and organs over many years. So, the big question, can we do anything about this? Can we slow down the aging process? The answer from the scientific community is a resounding yes. We may not be able to stop it completely, but we can absolutely influence how we age. And the tools are not futuristic pills, but powerful lifestyle choices. Regular exercise, especially a mix of cardio and strength training, is one of the most potent anti-aging strategies. It improves the function of your mitochondria, preserves precious muscle mass, and helps your cells clear out damaged proteins. A nutrient-rich diet full of plants and antioxidants provides your cells with the building blocks they need for repair and reduces metabolic stress. Deep, restorative sleep is non-negotiable. It's when the body's repair crews do their most important work. And something as simple as maintaining strong social connections supports both brain and immune health. Conversely, avoiding things known to accelerate damage, like smoking, may be one of the single strongest anti-aging choices a person can make. Longevity is not built by one miracle intervention. It is built through thousands of positive cellular signals repeated over time. So why do we age? We age because DNA damage accumulates, because telomeres shorten, because our mitochondrial power plants lose efficiency, because zombie cells build up and create a state of chronic inflammation. Aging isn't one single process, it is a deeply interconnected network of biological changes. But understanding those changes gives us power. It transforms aging from a mystery to be feared into a biological process we can understand and influence. The goal isn't just to live longer, but to live better, to extend our health span, staying stronger, sharper, and healthier for as many years as possible.